Hey everybody, welcome back in to Sports Live in the 215. My Life episode 8. We're finally we're finally headed towards present day here. So, yeah, for first semester at Towson was very overwhelming. My first semester was the spring of 23. Um and yeah, I was still kind of just like focusing on like school and baseball at the time. I hadn't started this podcast yet. Um but like my first semester was pretty overwhelming, and Towson's campus is Towson's campus is pretty huge compared to the campus at HCC, which is relatively small. Um, but it was just one of those things. Like I tried to make sure, like I was with Hartford, that I was involved in the community, even if it was just for the baseball team and stuff. Um, um, yeah. In the also in the spring of 23, I was for the first time, my aunt found the Phillies college series. Um, so and it was for people in the sports media department. So I asked how like I asked this question of Ruben Amaro Jr. and and I said how like my disability of or how having cerebral palsy could like impact me like being involved in sports media. And he said it really couldn't inhibit me, because there's so many ways that someone can contribute in in the sports media realm. You can do TV, radio, you can be a spotter, um, you can be a TD, you can be a technical director, um, you can be a producer. So he was saying there's really no limit to what I can do, and my disability shouldn't impact that. And that was a really cool experience. And obviously being part of the Towson baseball team was cool as well. I came over there a semester after my teammate Bobby Spencer, who was a starting pitcher and a reliever on the um, 22 Hartford Owls that went to the World Series. And I always called Bobby our Swiss Army knife, because he could just do everything. And he even played shortstop, like whenever if we ever needed him to. So or I I think he played some infield whenever we needed him to, which wasn't very often, but he was able to do it. Um, so that guy was just a ridiculous athlete, and it was cool to be teammates with him again. And a guy that was on the uh, on the 2021 Hartford Owls, Race Kernane was our first baseman. He was academically ineligible at Kansas, so he transferred over to Towson. And um, it was it was cool to kind of meet him. We would have been teammates had I had I had the foresight to contact Coach Eller maybe when I was in high school. In high school before I transferred or before I went into Harvard. Um, so yeah, but that's just one of those things that I I think about with like age and maturity. Like that's one of those things I should have done. I should have really thought one to two steps ahead in my life instead of like allowing myself to get behind the eight ball. Um, but anyway, I was on the Towson baseball team, and in 23 we had a bunch of really cool moments. I remember my first home game we played Villanova, and we 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 beat them, and it was really special for me because my my uncle not only went to college there, but he taught nuclear physics there. Um, so like that was a big game for me, and then like I think twice in the same week, our third baseman, Bryce Frederick, hit hit two home runs or two two walk offs. Two walk offs in the same week. He had a week where I want to say he went like 4 for 10. So he hit 400. He became the NCAA National Player of the Week. Um, so that was very cool to watch that guy operate, and um, like seeing race hit was just an absolute pleasure. I mean, all like all the guys on that on the 23 team, like they just we had a lot of talent, but there was just a lot of young guys who didn't really know how to win. And like the culture of just losing just permeated like it was permeating the program as and this was the case in 24 as well. Every time we would take one step forward, it always seemed like we would take two steps back. Um, but yeah, we had a freshman, Casey Bishop, who got all CAA rookie honors. Um, that was that was very very big, and then Bryce Frederick, I want to say he was a second team all conference. Um, so that was huge. What else? What else? What else? And then Ethan Pecco, our one of our starting pitchers, actually got drafted. Like he was a teammate of mine for the first 2 years I was on the baseball team or a part of the baseball team, and he actually got drafted by the Houston Astros. So that was very very cool. Getting to watch him pitch and let him do his thing. He's absolutely disgusting. That organization, they certainly got a good one. And our 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 senior catcher in 23, John Cristino, he actually got drafted by the Yankees the the year after I was or the following June after I was teammates with him, or or actually, I think he just signed with the Yankees. I don't think he got drafted, but he um he he just got signed with the Yankees, so that's big for JC. I'm happy for him. I mean, if he makes it to the show, all of us at all of his former teammates at TU better get some tickets to the state to Yankee Stadium for sure. I'd love I'd love to see my guy hit some bombs again for but yeah, it was just those first two seasons they were fun, but the culture of the baseball program was just so bad. And then going into 25, we got a bunch of guys coming in from the transfer portal, and we had a bunch of guys returning from 24. So the baseball team's culture got a lot better, and we actually ended up winning 20 games for the first time in 4 years. And then what else? Oh, during the or actually that let me make that more clear. We this past year, so the 2025 college baseball season, or Towson baseball college season, words are hard. We won 20 games for the first time in 4 years. Yeah, so that was cool. And then as far as for me, I got an award from my digital publishing professor in the fall of, I want to say the fall of 23. So that was quite an honor. What else? It yeah, like a lot happened. Like I was also, I forget when this was, but I was also a part of the Hussman Center for Adults with Autism. So that was a pretty cool experience. I met a bunch of, or a few of my friends, a bunch of people who were in my class were also in my social group, or two people who, or one person who was in my actual class was in my social group, and then two other people who I became friends, or actually two people who were in my class were in my social group, and then two people from the other class were in the social group as like kind of like mentors, I guess, to the adults with autism, or like partners. I forget what the verbiage is, but yeah, that was a really cool experience. Yeah, I had a lot of a lot of really transformative experiences, and like everyone I met at Towson was just so, again, so welcoming, so kind. Same with Hartford, and credit to Coach China, Coach Biagini. Like Coach Rupenthal, all of really everybody at Towson, not just the baseball program, but like everybody at Towson was just above board. I can't say enough about how much they helped me, and obviously that there's some drawbacks as with everything, but it's just one of those things. And in in the fall of 23, that's actually I know I'm jumping around a lot, but that's actually when I started this podcast, because my brother Tommy was actually sick of just hearing me talk about it and not really act on it. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it now, and I'm having a whole lot of fun. And I hope you guys are having as much fun watching the content as I'm having making it. I really appreciate all the support, all the love, all the comments, and even the criticism. Like it makes me better content creator. That's for sure. So yeah, it was one of those things where it was actually after the NLCS in 23. One of the games was like, or Tommy was like, you know what, you're starting the podcast tomorrow. Like, dude, stop talking about it. But and yeah, like I mentioned, I'm having a whole lot of fun with it, and I'm just glad you guys are enjoying it, and it gives me just a really good outlet. What else? I have one more I have one more semester at Towson. So I'm excited to be all wrapped up and all wrapped up in being able to do this full time. I only have 3 classes this semester. So that's good. Let me actually hold on. Let me pause this and then I'll be right back. And then yeah, I remember my train of thought. On Wednesday, I'm actually gonna go to the college series event that the Phillies have for 2025. Since their sports media one already passed, I wonder what this one will pertain to. It should be it's always pretty exciting learning different areas of the game of baseball, and being able to like connect with different people and kind of pick their brain a little bit. So yeah, that should be fun. I know this episode might end up being shorter than the last the last 2 My Life episodes, but since there's like it seems like there's there's less that I'm remembering. Like I'm trying to make sure this is a pleasant viewing experience for you guys. Yeah. So the networking event at the Phillies game should be fun. they play the Brewers tonight, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So yeah, Wednesday's networking event should be very, very good. And I'm just very things are just kind of going really well for me, and it's all it's all very it's all very exciting, and I'm glad that you guys are along for the ride, because um it's already been one hell of a ride, and it will continue to be one hell of a ride. So just keep staying locked in on the content. We've got a lot of good stuff coming up, so I'm anxiously awaiting to see where we go next. This has already grown so much in the almost 2 years that I've been doing this content. We have 239 subscribers. That's absolutely incredible. Thank you guys so much. And like I said, it's only the beginning, and I really appreciate all the love and support. And just from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And with that being said, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, click that like button, comment, share, all that YouTube stuff. And as always, this is my life.